What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 147. And sadly, oh so sadly, this is the last preview podcast for any sort of UFC event this year. It's terrible. We'll have a nice little breaky break though, Just we'll probably make some different fun videos doing different things. We got awards we could do. We could do a whole like PFL wrap up, you know what I mean, of like this whole season and everything. That'd be a fun one to do at the end of every year for the rest of PFL's lifetime. So we got one last time to do it, We won't get a chance next year.
Go on.
You're acting like it's gonna go bankrupt next year.
Huh?
You're acting like it's gonna go under next year.
No, it's just going to get sold and the whole dynamic is going to change.
Hey, who knows, man? With how the fucking champs have been talking and everything and canceling shows and all of that, like, they said we were getting fucking 8 Bellator events this year with 2 title fights every card at the start of it, and we'll get 5 or 6 by the end of it with 1 title fight on most of them.
Yeah, but that's because Don Davis had to run a promotion.
But either way, fuck all that bullshit because we got one last UFC card. UFC Tampa coming at you December 14th. And a very surprising headliner to come into, honestly.
Yep.
I was so shocked seeing that motherfucking Colby Chaos Covington actually taking a short notice fight against Joaquin Buckley. I just wonder if, possibly could have gone just like pay grade in like his contract or something, or like pay increase. Could have been offered promise like a potential title shot or like a number 1 eliminator with it, like I just feel like there had to have been a little something to sweeten the deal for Colby to take this one, honestly.
Yeah, I think probably for sure, but it also, like, we all know that Colby wants the title. He wants to be at the top, he wants to get the belt, he wants to fight for the belt.
Yes.
We're at a point with 170 where there's guys he's already fought, old guys that really doesn't do much for him, or up and coming younger contenders that are going to be a rough fight.
Yes.
But those are going to be the fights that can actually propel him forward if he were to win.
Yeah.
So like a little bit of a sweetened deal and just the understanding that you need to beat this guy. You know what I mean? Like, these are the people you now need to fight. It is a new division. It is not what it was 5 years ago. Like,
it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. Because it's like, his name value in the division will definitely keep him at the top and like bring him farther than he should be for a while. But it's like at the end of the day, people for like 2 years now have been talking about how he doesn't have any relevant wins and stuff like that. It's like you need to start beating these guys to actually get your spot as like a title contender.
Yeah, because the only win he has right now over somebody that is still signed to the UFC is RDA.
For the interim title, 2018?
Yep. Because since then, Robbie Lawler, Woodley, Masvidal.
Yep.
It's so crazy that he has 3 wins since that interim title win.
No, for
3
real.
wins, 3 losses.
Insane.
But yeah, either way, good on him to actually take this fight. Make sure that we still got a good main event for UFC Tampa. Coming down to the actual fight itself, just another reason that I am a little bit surprised of him taking this fight specifically in Joaquin Buckley. 1, least amount of name value on him and hype out of all of these guys coming in. And I don't think that he's the one that has shown like the most like struggling with like grappling, or like he doesn't have like the most amount of flaws, you know what I mean? It's like he's a very solid fighter. He's just very good over round, extremely physical and explosive. I just feel like this is an extremely rough matchup for Colby Covington.
Yeah, I kind of think it comes down to the fact that yes, Colby is still ranked number 6, but with the guys ahead of him in Jack, Sean, Usman, Leon, Shavkat, it's like obviously Shavkat just fought and he's fighting for the title next. He's already lost to Usman twice. He just lost to Leon in,
Yep.
I think they're looking for other paths for Jack and Sean because there are bigger names that they could go to with them in Usman and Leon.
For sure.
Yeah.
That it's like Colby's kind of like the 3rd name on that list that they could go to, but timelines and everything, Colby's been out for a little bit now. It's like, hey, if you want to fight, this is the guy.
Yeah.
No,
like, and he did take it short notice too. So maybe even with that, it's like, yo, you beat him, and we will give you like a top fight, and that's all you'll need into the title shot. You beat him, and then you beat a Sean Brady. You're up next. Like,
no, yeah. And like that is kind of the thing with it is with like Leon's still looking to fight. We already know that. Usman is just seems so wishy-washy on whether he wants to keep fighting or not.
I feel like he still wants to fight. It's just like with the whole like, you know, because he like was saying that he was gonna fight Shavkat and then turning it down. I feel like he was just like that initial thing of like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna like be that guy again to like step in and fight. And then the probably days went on, negotiation going on, and probably just talking to his camp, and it's just like, bro, do you really want to fucking do that again? And I feel like that's why he was just like, I just want a real training camp as a former champion to fight
like,
one of these
and I was
top
gonna
guys.
say, and he deserves that, you know.
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
he lost to
100%.
Leon, and then he lost in the rematch in short notice. 5 days takes on Hamzat up a weight class. He didn't need to take on short notice, like I know it's the right weight class, but undefeated Shavkat.
Yeah.
And especially with like, we know that his wrestling is just not the same anymore. He doesn't need to be in a wrestling match with fucking Shavkat these days, short notice. Like he does deserve a full camp. It's like you can't hate him for it, you know.
It's like at the end of the day, it's like it's fighting, bro. Everyone deserves a full camp to step
sure.
in there.
100%.
You know, it's like you don't even need to just list his accolades. It's like, bro, it's you're signing up for a fight. You should be prepared. Like that's
No, I don't disagree with that.
That you expect of someone.
I'm just like saying like it just seems like he's very like could kind of go either way because he has hinted at retirement before as well. So it's just one of those things with Usman that could go any which direction. With Colby, it is one of those things where I am surprised just because, it has been like only big names / older people in the divisions. The only one I would say who has like around the same, like in terms of name value as Joaquin is probably like Sean Brady, just because he has that blow loss and everyone like clowns him for it and all that. But like, both of these guys that we're talking about, though, with Sean Brady or Joaquin, if he had gotten, like, let's say, offered Sean Brady for later, and then, this happens, we're like, hey, actually, both are very physical, very strong, explosive fighters who both aren't afraid to go to the ground either. And with Sean Brady, a huge submission threat. Buckley, not so much, but his ground and pound can be very fucking vicious. So it is, like, a very interesting fight. I would love to see how this goes, especially considering... I would like to see where Colby's cardio actually is, because it looked kind of waning in the Leon fight, but that also might have just been like, whatever, long layoff, all that shit.
But even then, it's like it's still a year later now, you know? It's not he's been active.
Was
I know
a year and a half, or like a year and a half?
I was gonna say I know it was a year and a half from Masvidal to Leon, but still, it's like it's still been a year taking it short notice. I'm just I don't know.
Yeah, there are definitely questions about Colby's ability to still perform at his best, given his current age, 36, 37 at this point.
He's 36 years old. He'll be 37 February.
Yeah, so it's just like
if he also did break his foot in the first round of that Leon fight, then that does but it would change the dynamic of how he does like try to pressure and all that because of he does use a lot of kicks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so, I just trust Gilbert's talking about. I seen him walking around. That motherfucker's foot ain't broken.
No, I trust Gilbert more than I trust Colby as well. I'm just saying, like, because it all depends on what it actually was. Because if it was like more of a broken toe situation, well, you don't really get put into a boot or whatever for a broken toe. You kind of just have to deal with it.
But so it's like definitely still have to see like how he can perform at his best. But you gotta think that the game plan, obviously it's gonna be going to the grappling, but I feel like through the first 2 rounds especially, it's gonna be more of probably trying to stay safe and just try and grab clinches when he can, push Buckley up against the cage if he has like the ability, and just like what I mean, just try and make not probably do too much, and just get too out in front of his skis, get countered.
I don't think he's gonna have the ability to not to do too much. You know what I mean? Like Buckley, I don't think is gonna be super patient, and I wouldn't be surprised if Buckley is the one that shoots and pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like it's like we even saw it. Like
maybe not.
Because I was gonna say it's like obviously like he can stand and strike with him, but you have someone like Colby who who he's a wrestler. Yeah. Do you want to be defending it and trying to work with it, or do you want to be the one getting him down and hoping for the better and trying to maintain the better position? It's like we've seen it with Nursultan. I know Nursultan's much bigger, so obviously a smarter game plan of take him down so don't have to worry about that reach. But it's like we know he's physical and he'll go for it. Like
No, for sure.
No,
Like takedowns in
100%.
every one of his welterweight fights other than Vicente Luque.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I know that he be going out there and shooting. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if his game plan is like, no, I'll be the one to take it to the ground. I'll get the better position. I'll grind and pound him out of there.
No,
I like, you know what I mean? Why stay on the feet and worry about getting taken down? And no, now I have to defend. Now I have to do this. Like, be the first one.
What I was about to say is I could see that happening, but I could also just see situations with Buckley because he is so explosive. He does a lot of the time overextend himself. Just a duck under and just grabbing a double or a single leg and just Colby pushing him up against cage or taking him down right then and there. Like that, that is 100% potential to happen because he does like to get a little too out front of his own skis at times.
No, yeah, for sure. I just kind of, just pictured Buckley being the one trying to initiate it.
That's fair because it's
I
like,
can see it.
Especially with me, like what would surprise me the most about it, it's like with saying that Vicente Luque, the only one he didn't grab takedowns on, the only one that's actually a decent grappler, you know, like especially at the top level of the division, like out of the 5 guys that he has fought. And then it's also, this is his first 5-round fight too. I'm not really sure how smart it would be to like, let me just go out there, especially early, and try and grapple with Colby.
That's true.
I feel like that's a very quick way to just get reversed, get taken down, and just spend too much time on bottom, spending too much time using your muscles where it's like, because it's like, I'm not sure if like, just, you know, if there's like a decent amount of grappling and everything throughout the first 15 minutes, how much gas like Joaquim is going to have at 170 pounds round 5?
No, yeah, that's very true. Because like with Vicente, I feel like it makes a bit more sense to me though, because it's like Vicente much more of a submission threat, and especially with chokes. It's like, you know what I mean? People shoot in on him. He's wrapping up the Anaconda, wrapping up a Darce, wrapping up a Gilly. Like, you know, like he is real good for that. That I wonder if Joaquim was like, I could just knock this dude out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
As to where like Colby, he has 5 subs on his record, 3 of them within the UFC. It has been years since he's actually gotten himself a submission win. It's
Jonathan Manure in 2016.
There you go. That is just like, I could definitely see Buckley kind of not respecting it, but I do get the cardio. Like that I think is going to be way more of a thing in his head than Colby actually like, oh, I'm gonna reverse and I'm gonna sub him or anything like that. You know what I mean?
So much being sub, but like just the control time, being controlled on the ground, and then like he is gonna throw some shots and ground and pounding. No, and I agree with that. I was gonna bring up the submission threat with Vicente Luque. Because like, it would be the same thing if you were to fight Gilbert. He'd probably rather keep it standing a little bit more than he would, because Gilbert is also much more of a submission threat than Colby. Like, not as many submissions as like Vicente, but still one of the highest level BJJ guys in the division, and like trained with fucking Vicente, you know. So
so
it is one of those things.
I'm definitely interested to see how Buckley is going to just go out there and try and solve the problem of Colby. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like smart calculated pressure, because it's like he definitely wants to be on the front foot, because it's going to make Colby just harder for him to shoot going off the back foot, and then just being more prepared for it. And I just feel like he's probably looking at it as like, I just knocked out Wonder Boy, who was only knocked out one time in his career before. I know it's not like Colby's, you know, like out here getting knocked out all the time, also only been finished KO TKO one time by Kamaru Usman, but it's like the power that Buckley has there, I have no doubt in my mind if he lands clean on Colby, he's putting him down.
Yeah, so I agree.
I feel like he's going to be trying to probably just walk forward, stalk him down, get Colby panicking with the power of him, make him shoot on a sloppy shot, and probably just rock him with an uppercut or a knee or something, you know?
No, yeah, that's true. Because I also pictured him being able to get him out of there and just thinking that he could. But that's why I was like, you know, instead of even worrying about the takedowns, just get your own takedown, grind and pound him out of there. You know what I mean?
That's definitely like, that's not something I would have thought like for him to do at all. But bro, if he goes out there, takes down Colby and ground and pounds him, that's probably the most impressive way that he could get it done. Honestly, like that would be pretty damn incredible.
Yeah. It just, especially with like Colby's last performance in my head, you know what I mean? Like, it seems doable too. Like,
and that's where it's like really have to see how Colby shows up, because if he shows up like that Leon fight, I do think that's a very reasonable path for Buckley to get it done. If he shows up like the Leon fight, he probably has his way with him and he's getting him out of there in under 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But so we'll see how Colby shows up. If Buckley's able to get it done, easily going to be the best win on his resume, especially just off of, like, if he's able to stop Colby too, off of stopping Wonder Boy, like, he is putting together such a good run, man. Like, just 1-2 more wins, he is going to be absolutely undeniable at the top of the division, looking for a title fight. And yeah, with Colby, if he's able to beat Buckley, just actually showing that he can still hang around with these tough guys coming up in the division. And I feel like he's at least he'll need at least one more win to get himself into the title talks. But with being a bigger name and stuff like that, you just never know how the UFC is going to want to throw him in. Fucking Dana White just going on for fucking 8 months straight of how because he was the backup fighter, he deserves a title fight. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you just never know how that'll play out.
Do you think if Buckley wins, do they go back to the Ian Gary fight?
I'm not so sure about that. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and give Ian a bit of a softer landing, just a better stylistic and just overall fight for him, especially just, taking that fight against Shavkat, saving the day and everything. I feel like he'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets favored pretty good.
It's just one of those things, just looking at it. Buckley wins, it's just the other people were already talking about who they're potentially going to be fighting, because it's going to be Shavkat fighting for the title, Jack Della Maddalena potentially fighting either Usman or Leon, and then Sean Brady possibly fighting Usman or Leon.
I think it's one of those things where it's, we've been talking about it. 170 has officially entered its great era. We are going to start getting some really good matchups. In a perfect world, where you want to keep things fresh matchups and you have all these up and coming contenders. You match them up in a way where hopefully timelines just work out perfectly and we can just go 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? But it doesn't happen. It's it's the time where we're going to start getting these contenders fighting each other and getting some good fights. So it's with Sean Brady, like you said, him not having the biggest name out of all of them, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Joaquin Sean Brady fight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Because
I think with someone like Jack Della, I think that they are trying to save him for a bigger fight to then make that big Jack and Shavkat fight, or you know what I mean, things like that. But they can't do that with everybody, and we're going to start getting these crazy matchups where it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
And because it's one of those things where it's I know you're saying that Jack probably going to get either Leon or Usman. It's Jack's fighting in Perth. I have almost no doubt about that. And then Leon's fighting in London. So I feel like we're getting Jack versus Usman for that. And it's I know you're thinking that Brady will probably get Leon, but I just feel like it's going to be Morales or Carlos Prates really for that. It's I can definitely see the Buckley Sean Brady one. If he goes out there, finishes Colby, I feel like that's most likely. Or it's just also one of those things, depending on just timelines, how everything plays out. Buckley could also just become that guy of I'm bumping all the old motherfuckers out of here, and he gets matched up with Gilbert Burns.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, if it doesn't go that way, where he's fighting up and he just wants to fight, he might get Gilbert next.
Yeah,
it's just another big name, and he's gonna do him bad.
Yeah, and it's just because it's one of those things where trying to get him in the mix with Jack and Sean and Prates, and just the people that are hyped, bro. Having him finish Wonderboy, Colby, and Gilbert. What fucking better way do you get him into the mix than destroying all of the biggest names in the division?
That's true, but you know what? They might go the Sean Brady route to give Ian Gary the Gilbert fight.
It's very possible.
Never mind, they trained together too closely. Never mind. I'm not going to say fucking 170, keeping up even years later.
I know.
Here's what I was about to say. Even though he doesn't deserve to be fighting up, he is a legend, and he is someone who I think Gary can't beat. Let's get the Ian Gary Wonderboy fight.
I mean, that would.
They both have said they take that fight, so
I'd definitely be fine with that.
I'd be down for that. The only reason with Gilbert, I wasn't even thinking of Gilbert, was I was thinking he was potentially going to be fighting Prates or Michael Morales.
I'm pretty sure, I know he's had him on the pod. I don't
I want to see Gilbert fight any of these guys, bro.
I feel like I'm just not sure if he would fight Prates. I just feel like one of those things. But the Michael Morales one, that is definitely a fight that he would take for sure.
I understand what you're saying with that, but I'm also just gonna throw out there he fought Usman.
Yeah. True.
He's also said he'd be willing to fight.
You know what I mean?
Well, him and Vicente have both said they'd be willing to fight each other. That's what I mean. I think Gilbert's just one of those guys where it's just it's business.
True, and I guess Ian might have been around, but not long enough where it's no, that's my gym partner. You know,
for sure.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just wish that Gilbert would get an easy fight, tell the UFC he's retire, and get a nice win, and then a great send-off package, and then he proceeds on Show Me the Money pod, and
Yeah,
there you
for
go.
sure. Yeah, saying Buckley potentially versus Gilbert, don't want that at all. But just knowing the UFC, knowing Gilbert and everything, that's easily. But yeah, I definitely do think that Buckley goes out there, gets a good stoppage win. He deserves a big fight for sure.
No, yeah.
Well, let's go. Should be a good fight at the top of that card. Very excited for the main event. Co-main event, not
low-key real apexy.
Yeah, not as big of a fight at all. But it still should be some good fun. Cub Swanson still hanging around at 145 pounds in 2024.
Bro, I did not realize he was 41 years old.
Yeah, bro, what? You got fucking knocked out by Jose Aldo for the WEC title probably like 13 years ago?
Like,
yeah, 2009.
Sorry, even more
than
that, 15 years
15,
ago.
15.
Yeah. Like, bro has been around forever, just still doing the damn thing, man. And the fact that it's like he went on a 4-fight losing streak from 2017 to 2019, and the fact that he has not taken 2 consecutive losses since then, it's just one of those things like, goddamn, man, you know, like.
So is he gonna win? He lost to Feely in a split decision in his last one.
It's like, yeah, because the guys that he's lost to, like, literally since 2017, Brian Ortega, Frankie Edgar, Moicano, Shane Burgos, Giga Chikadze, Jonathan Martinez, Andre Feely. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
Andre Feely being the lowest level in there, but it was the split decision.
And just a split decision and against another vet.
Yeah, where it's like Billy Q on the older side as well, being 36 years old. You know, obviously 5 years younger still than Cub, but it's like just like I don't know. I'm really not sure how to feel about this fight yet. I'm kind of feeling 50-50 either way.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure it'll be a good scrap though.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good
potential
fight.
To be a war, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that Cub don't take too much damage, honestly. And he is definitely going to be one of those guys where in the next year or two, I feel like he's got to be retiring pretty soon. And the UFC should have just talking about with Gilbert, the send-off package, like they'll have a great one for him. So many fights to go through.
Yeah.
His Hall of Fame fight with Dooku Choi, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
They have any fights, like fight cards announced for California?
311 is all I know.
Okay, well, it's not going to be on 311, but
yeah,
he was born in California. It'd be dope if he got to retire, like his retirement fight being in California. Just 100%. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome for him. But yeah, man, it definitely should be a good, solid fight between the two. Definitely hope Cub could walk away with the win. That would be awesome.
The one thing I don't want is for Cub to retire in the Apex. I don't allow that.
No. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. That would just be very sad for sure. But yeah, we'll see what happens in that co-main event at 145 pounds. Not the most meaningful, but like we said, should be fun. Going on down to the feature bout, much more meaning to it. 2 top 15 contenders going at it. Manel, Kape fighting Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva, just another one of these guys at 125 pounds, starting to make his way up.
Damn, he's 34 years old.
Forgot that he was 34 years old, honestly.
Damn. Because I was looking and had a bit of a rough start coming into the UFC, but no contest because Taha failed the drug test, but then he lost to David Dvorak, who was ranked for a while, to Gear, whatever. But since then, just 4-fight winning streak, all finishes.
Yep.
1 sub, 3 knockouts.
And the last one over Cody Durden, getting the second round uppercut ground strike is definitely the most impressive one for sure.
All of them being performance bonuses as well.
Yep. Yeah, just since 2021, Justin Bonuses racked up $200,000 for himself, so that's very nice for him. Especially being 34, just that. Did not realize he was that old. It's definitely going to be rougher to get something going in this division. But if he's going to, he has to go out there, keep that finishing ways going, and just get a motherfucking crazy knockout over Manel Kape if he wants to insert himself into the title picture at all.
Not yet, for sure. No. Manel's never been knocked out. He has been subbed twice, though, so maybe he could do it like that. Maybe he will be the first person to knock him out. All I know is that Manel is just real patient in his fights, and it's definitely... if he doesn't get going, he could lose this so easily.
Yeah. His patience a lot of the times is 100% to his detriment.
Yeah.
He just is too patient a lot of the time.
Yeah, and Bruno Silva, only 1 KO loss on his record. It was a 7-second head kick knockout in the first round, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but so Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a good one. Bruno Silva is going to be trying to put it on him. I feel like he's really going to pull a fight out of Manel Kape, and we're going to see if Manel can still hang around in the top 10 of this division.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hopefully, nice knockout or something for Bruno. Just get a new name into the top of that mix, and yeah, get some more excitement going at 125. Just talking about in the last one, it's like Pantoja is doing the damn thing, so we need these contenders to do the damn thing as well.
Yes.
Yeah, he's already beaten Manel. Damn. Yeah. Right. Fuck. Who has the Pantoja beat?
No one. Fucking people that have not earned anywhere near close an opportunity to fight him. You know what I mean?
What?
Like,
in terms of professionally, it's Kai, Car-France, Tatsura, Asu. Fuck.
Yep.
I'm here.
But yeah, so but yeah, so we'll see what happens. Let's go. This next fight, 205 pounds. This is gonna be a very good one. Someone is getting put to sleep. Dustin
Probably
Jakoby.
Dustin.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
am more sad about, honestly. He's my boy. I love to see him fight. Very solid kickboxer at 205 pounds. Taking on Vitor Petrino after he just absolutely shit the motherfucking bed in his last one, taking his first
Yeah.
pro loss to Anthony Smith. Just so stupid to just Smith wraps up the gilly, just pulls him up into it so he can get it even tighter, slams him down, just gets subbed. Yeah, absolutely stupid, but does not have to worry about any real submissions coming at him in this one to get from Dustin Jakoby.
No.
Gonna be a kickboxing fight through and through.
No, yeah.
Vitor probably knocks him out in the first round, huh?
Probably. Maybe a second round.
I hope not, though. Dustin, a very solid fighter, 7-6, 1 draw in the UFC. Has definitely had a rough run of it recently, losing 4 of his last 5 fights. His only win coming against Kennedy and Zechiku. Was on a very solid streak before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what he's able to do at 36 years old. Just feel like one of those things where 205, we always, in like heavyweight, always talk about guys being able to extend their careers, but having so many kickboxing fights before coming into MMA, and just feel like that fight age is just really starting to get to him,
For sure. And I wouldn't be
100%.
surprised if when it comes on to Vitor's side, it's like he just took his first professional loss because he did some dumb shit. I'm sure he's looking to really perform and do well here,
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he wants to show out and be like, no, I deserve to be in the rankings. Like,
yeah. Sad. Oh, very sad. But
I'm so excited for this next fight.
bro, yes and no, because this is also going to be sad, man.
Yeah.
Daniel Marcos taking on Adrian Yanez. I really feel like Yanez is getting his ass whooped one more time, and it sucks.
Yeah,
I
think he's definitely going to. But I think it could still be a lot of fun during it. I don't know. I love watching both of them fight, but especially Daniel Marcos, it's just a whole lot of fun.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Adrian Yanez, he took his 2 losses real bad in a row. Rob Font, Jonathan Martinez just didn't look great there. Daniel Marcos has not gotten to that level yet. So while he's been looking great in his fights, it's just got to see how this plays out.
Definitely.
I don't know if he's going to knock him out, but I think that he could put a 3-round ass beating on him. He might knock him out, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Both beat Davey Grant by split decision.
Super impressive.
So this fight's going to a draw, I guess. I don't know, man.
Beat Davey Grant by a split decision.
It's just Daniel Marcos, undefeated, 16-0, 8 KO wins, 8 decision wins. So it's like with Yanez, 2 KO losses, 3 decision losses. I don't know. It's Daniel Marcos doesn't always have the most power. It's like more of just a lot of strikes, and he just be beating people up over the 15. And I kind of feel like that's what it's going to be.
That's where I just wonder if, because it's like Yanez,
he keeps
just
Yanez
a good. I'm sorry, what?
I was about to say he just keeps Yanez around too long. Yanez is able to find a counter strike.
Well, so like, which is saying that he's probably going to beat up over the 15. It's like, the thing with Yanez, it's like he is a good like boxer and like has good hands. He goes for it though.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, if Marcos really is ready for this level and to move into the top 15, I just don't think that like Yanez is gonna be able to keep himself safe enough, and he's just gonna get touched too much and probably go down. Like that's where I'm just really worried about this one, is because it's like, I know talking about all these guys coming up at 135 pounds. Daniel Marcos, just another one of those real good undefeated ones. He is a little bit on the older side at 31, but it's like
31 is right in his prime. It just sucks that this is how late he's coming in.
Just, that's where it's like, I feel like Daniel Marcos is ready for this next level and like fighting in the top 15, and I just feel like it might really show in this Yanez fight.
That's true.
And it's like, I fucking love Yanez, man. He just seems like such a cool dude, such a fun fighter to watch. It's like, we're saying that, like, you know, he might get beat up again. It's like, he, like you said, those 2 losses back to back, only 2 losses he's taken in the UFC, you know? So it's, we'll see if Daniel Marcos really is ready for that next level, but I do think he is ready for it, and I do think he can have a very spectacular showing in this one against Yanez.
He could.
But if just Yanez is able to get it done, though, that would just be so good for him, and just the development of his career, just get back on a winning streak. Also 31 years old as well. So it's like, it's not like he is too old or anything like that. He still has time to add a few key things to his game, especially just trying to keep himself safer. Maybe just add in a little bit of fucking grappling, some more clinch work or something, you know, just a few different tools to possibly mix it up, get some different looks out of his opponents where he's not getting hit as much, and he can definitely still have so many good performances, because it's like, before those 2 losses, 5 bonuses in a row, like, it just a great fun fighter to watch.
Oh yeah.
Just do what Chloe Roundtree did. Go live in Thailand for a year training Muay Thai.
I would fucking help a lot. Get his kicking up a lot better. You know what I mean? Just add a different just a different skill to like the striking than what his boxing fundamentals are. You know,
and not only that, really learn how to check a leg kick.
Honestly, when it comes to Jonathan Martinez, I'm not sure if checking it would help either, because like checking it hurts both of you. But if Jonathan Martinez, like obviously the way he kicks, his legs are conditioned, that's going to affect Yanez more. It might even hurt more right on the bone. Like, it's not always the best thing to do.
No, I know,
like,
but
handle that shit.
It would help a lot more, because I'm not just talking about Martinez. There are a lot of other fighters who, you know, have tried to exploit that. So it's just like, just being able to do that, it does de-incentivize it a little bit more.
For sure.
So,
but hell yeah, let's go. Moving on down the main card, last fight on the main card, Navajo Sterling making his UFC debut. It is right, Contender Series. Yep. Taking on Tuco Tokos. Not the most notable fighter in the UFC with a stellar record of 1-0, but he does got a fun name. I know you said that before we started that you're excited for Navajo Sterling's debut. What are you expecting out of this one, or at least hoping out of this one?
I think it'll just be a good fight, honestly. I think he can go out there and probably knock Tuco's out. He looked good in his Contender Series fight, just has nice striking, and it's like, he's only 5-0. Tuco's 10-4, but again, only 1-0 in the UFC, so it's not like he's had all this high level experience. Yep. I just think that he can look good in it, and he's 27, probably going to be a nice addition to the 205 weight class. We really need that, so
yeah, for sure. Just another guy out of that city kickboxing camp, training with Eugene Behrman, so it's always nice to see. Just
city kickboxing versus Kill Cliff.
Yeah. But just like, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, with Izzy being such a good fighter from that camp, and then like, you know, they like got like, you know, the few guys that are like, you know, good, like trained out of there too, like just Kai Kara France and like Oberg starting to, it's just like, I don't know, there are just certain times when like people come in and I'm just like, I just maybe just even too much just temper my expectations, because it's just like, it's just one of those things where it's like, like, okay, you're from that gym, but it's like,
I low-key didn't even realize that he was from the gym, you know. It was just one of those things of like, you know, just 27 years old, coming off the Contender Series, looked good in there, just excited to see what he can do in the UFC, you know. And like I said, 205 just not being the most in-depth division, just not the most stacked out, that it's always nice to see contenders coming in.
No, for sure, definitely. And 5-0 in his career overall, so just very green. So that's where
it's like, that's why like fights like, but that's why fights like this,
nice.
I like it, you know, because it's like, build that experience, get some more on your record, and then go into the other fights, you know.
I definitely understand where you're coming from, Jimmy. I think Blood Diamond has tainted my expectations of fighters coming in from City Kickboxing. Because
That's where he came from?
Yes.
Yeah. Bro, Izzy talks so much about how you fucking spar with Blood Diamond, and this guy's so good.
I'm weak. I had no idea.
Yeah, but like, you know, yeah, Brad Riddell, Dan Hooker. You have a lot of really good guys.
Yeah,
I know Volk does
fighters,
go over there occasionally. It's not his main gym, but he does sometimes and such. So
yeah. And because it's like Izzy becoming champ, and then like Kai and Dan, like, you know, just consistent top 5, top 10 guys. You know what I mean?
Brad Riddell, before he went on his little streak of losses, was a top 15, perennial top 15 guy.
Yeah. But so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, like you said, just always good to see new guys coming in at 205, especially, and just like you said, being on the younger side too. 27, you said, right? Yeah. So it's like just turned 27 too in November, so has plenty of time to work, get things going, get some good experience cooking in the UFC as well.
Yep.
Minus 500 favorite.
Damn, that's kind of crazy.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
He's minus. Yeah.
Damn.
Very nice. We'll see how that one plays out though. But these fucking prelims though, there's some fucking great fights on there.
There
man.
really is.
Bro, like these top 3 fights, honestly, on the prelims, it's just kind of crazy where it's like, you got fucking Cub and Billy Q in the co-main, where it's just like, not really that great of a fight. And then it's like, you got Navajo making his UFC debut on the main card as well. And then it's like these prelims, man. Oh my god, this prelim headliner, someone is getting viciously knocked the fuck out in this fight. That is all I know. Between motherfucking Michael Johnson and Arman Azaitar.
Is Michael Johnson going 50-50, or is Arman losing his 50-50?
I don't know, man.
Shit.
Well, I guess he's losing it either way if he wins or loses.
Yeah, true.
Well, is he going under 50-50? Or
he's 2-2,
yeah. Is he going under?
Because of Michael Johnson, 14 and 15.
Oh man,
just one of those things where I always got to bring it up. Of every time I see Arman fight, what was in the bag? You know what I mean? Potatoes. I don't care. I will not believe it. Every single time he fights, I don't care. I will keep on bringing it up until nothing happens, because that's all. People got over it very quickly, but I'm still stuck on it. I'm not, brother. You fucking had someone
mind
sneak
your
into
business.
They snuck into the bubble.
Literally none of your business.
Scaled fucking the outside of the building to
athletic
drop
as hell. Impressive.
Bro, potatoes?
He was hungry.
Bro, it's so crazy. I love it. It's one of the funnier stories in MMA to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, kill or be killed in this one. I'm kind of leaning towards Michael Johnson, I think, but I feel like because of that, that's why Arman wins. But usually when I feel that way, that's when I'm wrong. So it's I don't know, man. I just don't have a beat on when Michael Johnson is ever actually going to win or lose, you know?
How can you? Like, you can't, I know obviously he's getting older, so it's not the same as it used to be, but how can you have a tell on who's gonna win or lose?
It's like, with just like saying getting older though, but it's like, obviously it's like 2 years ago at this point, but it's like, bro, how do you go from losing a decision to Jamie Malarkey and then beating Mark DeCasey in the decision? Like,
how do you go from going life and death with fucking Artem Lobov to almost beating Josh Emmett via decision just to get knocked out in the last 30 seconds of the fight? Minute?
Last 45. 46 seconds left. Bro, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that it's gonna be motherfucking fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, just Michael Johnson, last 2 wins coming by decision, but Arman Azaitar, his only 2 losses coming in his last 2 fights, both of them by first round knockout.
Michael Johnson can definitely go out there and knock him out.
No,
he can definitely go out there and get knocked out. We just have to see.
So does that mean probably the least likely thing is that Arman wins a decision? I think that might be the money play.
I just don't know. He has made it out of the first round 2 times in his career, and the
Yes.
last time was in 2016. Something just tells me that if it goes out of the first round, he might die.
But that's why he's gonna win. It's a Michael Johnson fight.
Yeah, like he's just gonna be so out of breath and throw everything he has into the very last punch, and it's gonna put Johnson out. Like,
yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna be so much fun though. I am so excited for it. Sign me up for a Michael Johnson fight every single day of the week. But yeah,
the
very
next
good
fight
fun.
is what I'm real excited
Yeah, bro.
for.
This
is the one that could be the co-main on the main card for
Yes.
sure. Like,
this should be the co-main
Yes.
if anything. Honestly,
Should at least be
Drakkar
on the main
close.
card.
Yeah, Drakkar close back at it, taking on Joel Alvarez. This is it's one of those things, because I know we were talking about it like the other day with like 155. We're gonna have a lot of these people at the top retiring, and we're gonna lose a lot of like just the star power and the luster behind it of like, oh, the violence division, all these guys that go to war. But it's shit like this where you got 2 fights on the prelims between, like Michael Johnson, obviously the older side, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, Joel Alvarez, Drakkar close, like this is gonna be an absolute banger. I am so excited for this fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy because it's like, with Drakkar close, he's 9-2 in the UFC. 8 of those fights have been decision. He's won 7 of them. Joel Alvarez, though, he's lost 1 decision ever. It was in the UFC. The only person to take him there was Damir Ismagulov, like naturally. It's like, is Drakkar gonna be able to be like smart enough and good enough to stay out of danger? Because Joel Alvarez, obviously submissions are his bread and fucking butter. 17 of his wins is that. Out of his 3 losses, 2 of them do come by knockout, but Joel hasn't been so big on Drakkar hasn't been like so big on knockouts as of recently, his 2 knockouts coming by a slam, which was crazy, and then Brendan Jenkins, whatever. It's like, is he going to be able to actually get that done, or is he really about to drag Joel to his second decision?
I mean, it's entirely
and probably
possible.
Beat him in the decision.
It's just like, it is one of those things though, where his only 2 losses in the UFC are Damir Ismagulov and Arman Tsarukyan. Like, literally someone who is in the top 15 and someone who is right now going to be fighting next for the 155 title. Like, it's the level of competition that he has lost to and that he has beat is huge. So it's just like, okay, do we think that Drakkar is on that level of top 15 and possibly up towards the top 10?
Well, I feel like it's hard because it's one of those things where, yes, Joel's only losses are to Damir and Arman, who are solid, but he also hasn't been matched up with as solid of people either, like in his wins. You know what I mean? Joe Duffy, Danilo Bellarardo, that sounds fake. Thiago Moises, obviously a good one, but again, just kind of kill or be killed in there. Mark DeCasey, Elves Brenner.
Yeah.
So it's like Drakkar close, I feel like, is one of those guys that is actually sitting around the same exact level of him, where he's not just a lower guy where he's either up and coming or he's back and forth. He's very solid. He's sitting right there. But his only loss is just coming to Benny and then someone in his
David
debut.
Tamar, which it was a couple fights into 3rd fight in the UFC.
Oh, sorry, I just saw the Ultimate Fighter finale and kind of assumed that was a part of it and not that. My bad.
You're good. But yeah, like that was 7 years ago, 2017, when he was 8-0-1. David Tamar 6-1, who was a very solid kickboxer. So it's like, his one loss, by decision, and then it's like, he got knocked out by Benny, who's just got stupid power, you know?
And then it goes into the same of his wins of being Lando Venato, Bobby Green, again, being that better one in there of the names. Christos Giago, Brendan Jenkins, Rafa Garcia, Joe Selecki, like, you know what I mean?
Mark DeCasey in there too. It's like
very solid names.
Yeah, I would honestly say, like, in terms of name value, he has better wins on his record than Joel Alvarez does.
Yes. Just sitting around that same level of fighting the guys that are just, the lower level where you could put probably in the 30s and 40s type shit, but losing to the guys that are up above. And it's like, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
So Drakkar might not, like, in this fight prove that he's like, oh yeah, top 10 up, like, capabilities. But it's like, I do think he's good enough to stay safe potentially. But if he goes in for the grappling at all, or if Joel tries to initiate grappling and he can't handle it, like, I am very interested. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
No, exactly. That's where it's like interesting for me.
He has no sub wins, no sub losses.
I mean, Joel's also not afraid to stay on the feet. So
no. Violence.
He can knock somebody out. Like it's
Yeah, man. It's gonna be so good. I do feel like we could more than likely go to a decision, but if it gets like stopped either way, I wouldn't really be surprised
no,
either.
yeah,
So
it's just one
like,
of those fights where I have no idea what's gonna happen.
yeah, all I know is gonna be good. So let's fucking go. This next fight, 145 pounds. Sean Woodson finally fighting someone where he can't win by just being tall. Because I believe against
6'1", 76-inch reach, Fernando Padilla.
Yeah, so
2
I
inch
think
reach advantage is all he has.
Yep. Yeah. And then an inch taller. So it's like, yeah, just right there, same kind of build with him. I love me some motherfucking Sean Woodson. He is such a fun fighter to watch. His striking is just like the feints, the movement, and just like his ability to put together some combos, the way that he's built, every single thing about him. I am just so interested every single time that he's out there fighting. And then Fernando Padilla, not too bad of a fighter himself, only 2-1 in the UFC, so nowhere near as much of experience compared to the 6-1-1 for Sean Woodson. But best win definitely being that UFC debut, the finish over Juicy J, Julian Erosa. Did lose a decision to Kyle the Monster Nelson afterwards, which really isn't the greatest, to be honest. And then, yeah, got the first round Darce choke performance bonus in the last one.
Yeah, because he's definitely more of a finisher guy. He has 2 decision wins, 5 decision losses. That's all of his losses. But KO is a lot of subs. So I feel like it's one of those things where he's either killing you or you're gonna win a decision.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those things too where always interesting to see how it plays out, because it's like, he got that finish over Juicy J. Juicy J subbed Sean Woodson 3rd round Darce choke, the 1 loss on his record. So
and that is mainly how Fernando be winning. So we'll see.
Yeah. It should be such a good fun fight though. Very excited. But
his 1 loss, the Darce choke from Julian. Fernando's last win, a Darce choke over Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. I'm so excited, but let's go, motherfucking Sean Woodson. Other than that, we still got a couple decent fights. Miles John's back. He was supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt a couple times. Can't get that fight going, so he's taking on Felipe Lima in this one. That should be a pretty good scrap, honestly. I'm pretty excited for that one at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
No, yeah, same.
I just realized that I was 145 pounds.
Yeah.
What the hell? I guess because shorter notice and stuff, so I got it. But
is what? No.
Okay, so yeah, because Lima fought bantamweight in his UFC debut. So yeah, I guess that's probably just why just shorter notice fight, so they're fighting up a weight class. But yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. And we were talking about Dave Grant earlier, but he's on this card too. Let's go.
Yeah.
He gonna get it done against Raymond Tavares, or is he too old at this point, you guys think?
Probably too old.
Probably too old. He's gonna go 6 and 7 in the UFC, probably, after this one.
See if Raymond Tavares can make weight.
Yeah, that'll. Damn, yeah, the missed weight on Contender Series, fought on Contender Series again, and then missed weight in his UFC debut.
Yep.
Yes, that is kind of rough. We will see about that one. If he misses weight and loses, he probably gets cut right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But hell yeah, let's go. And Pierre Rodriguez, Josie Knutson, opener. Pretty fun fight, 115 pounds.
Yep.
Yes. Let's go. Those are the fights to talk about for this UFC Tampa card. But we got some fight news, and we got some probably the biggest batch of meaningful fight news that we've ever had in terms of title fights. I don't know if we've ever come in with 4 different ones to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's fucking go. Let's just start. UFC 312, Perth. Is it Perth or Sydney? I always forget. It's happening in Australia either way. February 8th. 2 title fights announced for that. Middleweight title is confirmed. Dricus du Plessis defending his title against Sean Strickland in the rematch.
I'm so upset.
I was just going to say, how do you guys feel about this?
Bruh, it should not be Sean Strickland. We've said it a million times that, yeah, sure, it was a close fight. It went to a split decision, but it was Sean's first title defense, and he doesn't deserve an immediate rematch.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I know that he did end up fighting Paulo afterwards, but again, he won a split decision over Paulo. It's like he is constantly going to these close fights and just not doing a whole lot. You have Whitaker who beat Paulo in a better fashion, and then he beat
Ikram.
Thank you. And then he still accepted the Khamzat fight because he's a goddamn G and got his face broken. So Khamzat doing that to Whitaker, he deserves that title shot.
Yeah,
straight up and down. Like,
it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's just so crazy because it's like you got like the fan base literally like, fuck Strickland, it's Khamzat. You got DDP being like, fuck Strickland, it's Khamzat. But then the UFC is just like, nah, it's Sean Strickland, actually. That's what we're going to do. It's like, it's just the times that they do certain things and don't, it's like fucking Izzy can just be like, I want to fight Yoel off of 2 losses, I'm pretty sure. But he's a scary guy. And the UFC's like, you're a fucking badass for wanting to fight him. Let's do that. Yeah. But then literally everyone other than Sean Strickland wants to see DDP and Khamzat. And the UFC's like, it's got to be Strickland. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know if fucking Khamzat wasn't ready for February in Australia. I don't know if it's one of those things where, like, he can't fight in Australia or something. I don't fucking know.
No, I'm pretty sure he was posted in Australia. Maybe it was somewhere else, but I feel like he was.
Gotcha.
It would make sense if he was, but who knows?
Either way, it is upsetting that we aren't getting Khamzat right away. But I do hope that at least Dricus, with having the 5 rounds going against Sean Strickland, I feel like if anyone is going to be able to like learn more and adapt to that fight, it's going to be Dricus, because Sean just fights like Sean every single time.
Yes.
So all of that, like, they both are so awkward in their own ways, but I just feel like Dricus is going to be able to pick up on more of the awkwardness of Sean and be able to get more things done.
Yeah, I agree.
Dricus overextends again, falls down and grabs another ankle pick.
I would love that. Like, to do that twice, that's on purpose now.
That's not a move.
Just one of those things where it happened, mid-fight with Izzy, and he's like, oh shit, that actually, like, maybe I could try this, and then he just does it again, and he's like, nah, that's my thing.
It just
gets more wacky with it every time, because now he's like actually trying to do it, so it just like... but yeah, I should be a good one though, hopefully, because it's like, the first one, it's not like, it was a bad fight or anything, but just wasn't like some great, crazy, like, knock him down, drag him out fight. But hopefully just a solid fight in this one for sure.
Yeah.
Co-main event. The UFC finally did what I wanted him to do. Which
I just don't agree with.
It's one of the... So Zhang Weili is finally back to defend her title, and she's taking on Tatiana Suarez. I know you guys did not want that at all because of all the injury problems with Tatiana. She can't keep shit together, so it's just like, why? But just for me, it's one of those things where it's like, because she has so many problems, fans actually are like excited to see her fight, want to see her do good. It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like you only have such a limited amount of time to like actually get her in fights where she's going to be okay and able to compete. So you just have to throw her into the top of the mix to see if she can get to the fight, get into the title fight, make it through, because it's like, I feel like more than likely Zhang Weili is going to be able to get it done, because it's like Tatiana's whole thing is her grappling, and that is something that Zhang has improved on so well throughout the last couple of years of like her career, where it's like with the Yan Xiaonan one, like she was struggling with like rushing in and getting clipped with big shots, getting put down. Don't think Suarez can do that at all to her.
Yeah.
So I will favor Zhang to win, and it's like, it's all you have to do is just put Virna in as the backup fighter, because you're gonna need a backup fighter for that. So it's like, it's just like, if she's not able to make it, then it's like, okay, we still get the title fight with Virna, who's more deserving of it, and you at least have maybe a bit more talks like around that fight, because it's like gonna be a short notice thing, so it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's the right way to go.
I get what you're saying. It is just one of those things, like, even when it comes to the fan base, I feel like just in this past year, a lot of people have kind of fallen off a little bit and wanting to see her. Like with this announcement, I've seen way more people talking about, well, this is undeserved, over, wow, I'm so excited to see her fight, because it's like, she was out from 2019 to 2023, and everyone was so excited for her to come in. She beats Montana De La Rosa, which, it's Montana, but like still looked good in it, cool. And then she gets the guillotine choke over Jessica Andrade, great. Then she's booked to fight Amanda Lemos, pulls out. That was February of this year. Then she was booked to fight on this card yesterday against Virna for a title eliminator, and she pulled out. and now she's getting booked against Weili. So it's like this year she hasn't fought. She's pulled out of 2 fights. You have Virna, who's on a 4-fight winning streak against 4 top 15 people in Angela Hill, Marina Rodriguez, Lupi Godinez, and the armbar just over Amanda Lemos back in July of this year. It's like, I don't know. It really sucks for her, especially because Virna's 36. It's like, yeah, I get it. You know, you make her the backup fighter, but let's say Tatiana does end up in the fight. Now the fight happens, and you know, they're not too quick to book women's fights anyway. So she might have to wait another 6, 7, 8, 9 months, a year potentially. To even get that shot. At that point, she'll be 37 years old. I mean, shit, no matter what, she'll be 37 because she's turns 37 in May. So it just really sucks for her, because then now, okay, Weili wins, great. If Tatiana wins, can she make it to a title defense? Now it's going to be sitting out waiting to make sure that she's good, and just, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like if somebody couldn't make it to to a fight in the past year because of injuries, they shouldn't be in the title shot. You know, I totally get, push her, she's undefeated, she's going to be like one of those like big questions of what could have happened with Tatiana, but like, you kind of just got to let that shit play out, because it sucks, you know?
And
like, exactly.
I get that, and it's like, because it definitely could cause, like, you know, just problems hold up like at the top of the division, but it's also one of those things where it's like, we've been talking about where there's not many people at 115 pounds right now, so it's like, this isn't really like a bad time where it's like, it's like getting held up for what? It's like, as soon
I just
like,
feel bad for Virna specifically and her age, because it's like they could have booked this. She would have been damn near 37, but you know what I mean? At least it would have happened sooner than later for her. Whether she wins or loses, you know what I mean? At least she got her fucking shot. Because then it's like with Tatiana, it's like, okay, she's only 33. She's the one that pulled out. Make her wait fucking 6 more months. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, especially if Tatiana's ready, whether she fights or not again, they would be quicker to make that than they're going to be to make the winner versus Virna. You know?
And I guess like with the age, I'm just not like the most concerned about, because it's like basically everyone's like 35 plus right now at the top of 115 pounds, and it's like, I know with you saying Tatiana only 33, but also with all the injuries, like that's definitely just something. So it's like, I don't think that's just like the biggest, you know, factor. And it's like,
I just feel like at some point it will play a factor, because it's like, Weili turned 35 in August, but we have Virna turning 37 in a couple of months. You know, it's like,
and it's just like, it definitely does suck, but it's just one of those things where it's like, Tatiana fighting in the title fight is the only real exciting thing at 115 pounds right now. So that's where it's just like, it's I don't know. I just really don't have a problem with it, because it's like, even if she does win, and then it's like, okay,
like if she can stay healthy, that's great. Then I'll love it, you know?
Because it's great. But it's like, okay, she goes to defend it against Virna in the first one, and like she loses it or like she gets injured or some shit. Now you got an interim title fight between Zhang, Weili, and Virna. Like, she's still gonna get her opportunity at gold. It's one of those things where it's like the UFC has the mechanisms in play to always have something in backup for these things. So it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just not, I just feel like it's not really the biggest deal. And it's like, just now is the time to get Tatiana in a title fight, because just the longer you wait and the older she gets and the more fights, the only more likely that it's not going to play out. And then it's just going to be another what if. And it's like,
no, yeah, that's true.
I mean, besides for that last part, the what if, you can say that's the exact same argument for Virna. Like, literally the exact same argument for Virna.
I just feel like not as
it's just like,
I just feel like not as bad with her not having just like riddled with injuries throughout her career.
I get that,
you know?
but like that's just like, it is one of those things where sometimes what ifs are just always going to be what ifs. Like this is 100%. There is 100% potential of her just getting injured before the fight, having to pull out, and then like just never being able to like get back there, because it is what it is.
I get it.
And the thing is, and I get what you're saying, but like I don't like doing the essentially what could happen of a Dominic Cruz Renan Barão, where all of a sudden, like, the champ is out for essentially 2 years, and the interim is having to carry the division on their back, and it's just like, why? Exactly what's happening to Tom Aspinall right now.
It's totally different, though. It's Jones isn't sitting out because he's injured for 2 years. He's deciding not to do it. Like
9 months was part of an injury, but the rest, rest that time, was him sitting out. But I'm not.
But like, see, it's different though, because if like Jones was just out for that time and Tom was defending it, and then the plan was whenever Jones is ready, he comes back to fight Tom. Like it's such a nothing burger. Like nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't matter. But because of that, that's why it's such a big thing. But it's
I know.
Yeah, if it's just because like, oh, Tatiana is injured, you know, and then it's like Bruno gets the interim title, let's say against Zhang, and then she defends it once or twice, everyone's just gonna look at her as the real champ doing the shit. So it's like,
I know,
she still gets pay-per-view points, she's still gonna get all the same perks. So it doesn't really make a difference.
She loses, but then that's kind of the thing, is if she loses, then she doesn't get the actually, no one's gonna actually look, because people don't look back at that shit. Like back in, when they're actually looking at the context of the fights, they don't look back at that. They're just gonna be like, oh, she was interim, she wasn't the real champ. Like that's all. But people also, I feel
like it's worth it to note that it's like, I know Zhang is a big enough name that it could possibly, but like there has never been a women's interim champion, no matter the situation that goes on. It's stripped, or you know what I mean? Like, or they're fighting once a year and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
If Tatiana is out, do you really think that they're going to care to put an interim title on it for Virna?
I mean, like, I just feel like it would be more of just because it's like they don't want to have like nothing going on, and it's like you're still gonna have Zhang Weili sitting around. So
and that's why I said, like, I know Zhang is a big enough name that possibly.
Yeah, that's where I just only feel like it would happen because of Zhang.
I just can't help but like, you know what I mean? It's like they clearly do not have like that same care of like, oh, let's go get things going for women's divisions, and especially like when they're in a lackluster phase. You know, like 125 has like a lot of movement right now, but like you said, like 115 doesn't have like a whole lot going on, that I'm just not even sure that they'll really even do that. They might simply like, I mean, they could end up just simply stripping Tatiana and then doing the title fight between Zhang and Virna. But again, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like they should have given it to Virna and let Tatiana either fight somebody else or just held her out until fucking like International Fight Week or some dumb shit, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. I definitely get it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that, how that all plays out. But hopefully Suarez can just make it all okay. We get the fight, and just whatever the result may be, it is what it is.
Yep.
But going on down, we got 2 more title fights official on UFC 311. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. We already knew that the main event was going to be the main event, but now it's official. Islam Makhachev looking to make that historic 4th consecutive title defense in the 155-pound division, ending a 4-way tie, I believe, between BJ Penn, I believe it's Benson Henderson, and Khabib. I always throw Frankie in there, but it's not Frankie. That's a part of it. So, yeah, just crazy how that has played out. The rematch, Arman Tsarukyan. Arman fought him in his debut. So many years have passed at this point. Both of them have very much grown into the champion and title challenger that they are now. How you guys feeling about this main event now that it's official?
I'm happy that it's finally official, because I don't know why. I just felt like it took a long time to get there, but I get there was a lot of things going on, you know, just even if they had it official, just kind of holding out on it for the right time.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Arman didn't look necessarily very impressive against Charles Oliveira in his last fight.
For sure.
You know, obviously went to the split decision. He had, you know, a great finish over Benny, and those are his like 2 really good wins.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that Islam is gonna break the record. I think he's gonna get his 4th title defense. I think he's gonna be able to get it done. It's like, we know that he is willing to go to war. He will strike it out. He is real good with his grappling. Obviously, he can go to a decision. You know what I mean? Yep. I know that they fought before, and it's like, oh, you know, like Arman could learn from that. But it's like Islam has grown so much from there, and I think more than Arman has. Arman, like, obviously, like, fighting better people and whatever, like, improving his game. But I just feel like Islam has improved more as a fighter overall than Arman has. And I kind of think he's going to get him out of there.
No, yeah. I understand that, because I still can't get over that one left hook that landed, that Silva landed.
By Joaquin Silva? Yeah.
It's just so hard to get over, because, like, Islam is such a better striker than him that it is going to be like, And then, obviously, he has the takedown threats. He has the grappling threats.
It's not even just that one left hook from like Joaquin, just in general. I think that Islam is a better fighter, and I think that he can make it a bit dirtier than Arman is able to handle, and I think he can get him out of there. Whether it's like, you know, potentially knock him out or even just hurt him and end up getting the sub. Like,
I wonder if this could end up being a mostly stand-up fight, honestly. because it's like one of those things of two good grapplers, you know what I mean? Just like, yeah, going after it. So it ends up being like a striking fight where it's like with both of them have grappled each other before, know how hard it is to get anything going. Both of them developing their striking so much more from that point of both of their careers where they're probably actually going to be comfortable and confident enough to beat the other person with their striking. This could be a lot of just, like on the feet going back and forth and that more than it is grappling. It's one of those things where it's like I agree everything with what you said of like Islam has improved more and just has done so much more. He's the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport right now, deservedly so.
Yeah.
It's just it's one of those things where it's like, so many great fighters have only gotten to that 3 consecutive title defenses. I know with Khabib, he retired and he probably could have kept it going and broken that, but it's like I just wonder if it's just like Arman has done so good and like has developed a lot that it's like I don't know, man. Islam should be the favorite, more than likely will win, but I just won't be surprised if Arman's able to get it done at all and stop him from being able to break that record.
Just I know
like,
anything
can happen. There's been so many talks
but...
of like Ilya moving up to fight Islam or Islam moving up to fight Shavkat or well, not below, but like moving up to 170. Like I just feel like there has in the past year, there's been so many talks of like Islam doing extra things other than just like fighting Arman, who has been a guy like just constantly working and getting closer. And it's like even with like just
I feel like
I don't know
because it's like with the Ilya one, I'm pretty sure even like what he said with it, because I'm pretty sure it got brought up to him and he's like, I don't want to fight a featherweight. Like I've already fought a featherweight enough. Like I don't want to do it again. But like if that's the fight, if that's like what's really wanted, like I guess, but that's not what I'm gunning for. You know what I mean? Like
no,
he's even said it that he's not really looking for that. Like he wants this title defense, he wants to move up, and he wants Shavkat to have the belt so that he can move up to 170. Like
and just I don't know. It's just like the little things. Like I feel like Islam's just been like in just the community too has just been more interested in other things than a rematch with Arman, because it's like even going into like because it was after beating Oliveira and then like just the thoughts or whatever, and it was just like or so I think it was like maybe after like the Volk second fight, but it's just like I know like Oliveira and like Arman, like just being brought up and just him saying like, oh, I don't want to do rematches, like I want new fights, I want new challenges. And then it's just like even with fucking Oliveira and Chandler, like when they were going into that and Islam just tweeting of like, oh, let's see like if someone can kind of do something to like like get ahead. And so I feel like even just wanting like a more just impactful fight than just rematching Arman, like you know what I mean. So I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where because he already beat him and he's been doing so great, number one pound for pound, a lot of people are just like, looking past Arman. And I'm not saying that Islam is, but I just, I won't be surprised if we get an upset here.
I don't know. Islam's also a little bit of a troll. So like with the way Arman is, I could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just getting online and it might even not even be him. It could be Ali out there just starting his shit like, who can do better? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
But so that's all. It's like,
because I feel like things
Islam
get brought up.
Favorite, but
I just feel like things get brought up to him. He just be answering, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
He lets shit get under his skin so much. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so
you know who also lets shit get under their skin?
Who?
Merab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Merabert. You know what I mean?
Robert.
Yo. I'm actually kind of surprised that he did accept this one to fight January against Umar Nurmagomedov.
I am and I'm not. Because again,
he's been talking so much like
so that's what I was gonna say is like again, Merab, like it seemed really like he was like, no, I want to fight. What was it, March or April?
Yeah.
Whatever fight it was that he was saying
that. Yeah, like Piotr like in March, Sean in March, like
fighting
Umar in March. Like he's just been talking about March.
I wonder if it's like, he wanted to fight there, but the UFC is like, nah, bro, we need you here. And he's just like, okay, sure. But also it's like with him talking about Umar, obviously there's been so much like just bad blood, so much shit talk, so much whatever. Again, Merab, a troll. You think that he's not on there just not acknowledging him to piss him off?
Yeah.
Because like at first it seemed kind of ducky, but with like him accepting it and just getting into it, you know what I mean? Like I didn't think that he wouldn't take the fight. I think that he'd just be talking shit. Like
for me, it was just like the consistent for the March date where it just seemed like that's where he was just really keen on fighting. So that's why fighting him in January, that's where I was just very surprised that it ended up lining up.
For sure.
but motherfucking Merab versus Umar. Motherfucking Ginger.
Mhm.
How you feeling about this matchup? Initial thoughts. Who do you think is probably getting it done?
Do I think it's probably getting it done? Initially, I'm gonna say Umar, but the thing with Merab is, fuck, this is so hard
Relentless
because
pressure.
that's the thing is the cardio Merab has is Umar gonna be able to match that?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing in this fight is Merab takes you to deep fucking waters no matter what.
Oh yeah, because it's like he obviously showed to have good 5-round cardio, going 0-5 with Corey, no problems in that. But
Yep.
it's just a different kind of
Super
pace.
different pressure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like Umar will probably win, but I don't know.
I
Man.
feel
It's
like
just,
that's why Merab is going to win.
Yeah,
because he is
exactly.
doubted in every single fight that he walks into.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
just does what he does. You know what I mean? Like, nobody thought that he was going to fucking beat Aldo. It wasn't a great fight. He just clinched him against the cage, but he got that shit done in a UD. No one thought he was going to beat Piotr, and he absolutely dominated. He goes up against Henry. Henry, he's triple C. He's a gold medalist wrestler. He can't do what he does. Memeing on him.
Yeah,
Sean O'Malley's gonna knock him out the first round. Easily UD.
Memed on him too.
Like, yes, like it is just so hard to be like, oh, Umar, like he's 18-0, he's coming up. Like, I get it. Like, I do get it because obviously it's Umar. He comes from the Habib camp, just all of this stuff where it's like he has great wrestling and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to doubt Merab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, like, especially with the Sean O'Malley fight, that was really one of just another one of those fighters where he's got certain like things to his game where everyone always talks about. He's a much smarter fighter than people give him credit for, and how he can actually game plan and execute a game plan. Just being like as patient as he was, like just circling on the outside against O'Malley and then finding the right timings. Like, I was not expecting that at all. It was just incredibly smart.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be able to find the right game plan, the best way to solve Umar, and I would not be surprised if he gets it done at all.
Yeah. And it's like, him talking about Umar doesn't deserve it because he's only beaten Corey. But it's like, yeah, like he has only beaten Corey. Bexat, a guy that was making his debut, Ione Barcelos, just an older guy, been around. Nate Manez, Brian Kelleher, nobody like terrible, but nobody super impressive as to where, like I said with Merab, his not 4-fight winning streak, but his past 4 fights, Aldo, Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
just different level.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, super excited for that one. Cannot wait to see how that plays out. The feels of fucking having Umar and Islam fighting back to back for championship fights is gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Habib's gonna be fucking. Dude's gonna shed
He's
fucking
gonna be
30
going
pounds
crazy.
in sweat just fucking. But let's go. I'm so excited for the top of that. We do got more fights added to 311. Absolutely stacking out to a giant card to start out January for the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Tagir Ulanbekov also on this card, taking on Clayton Carpenter, undefeated.
Oh, yeah, totally forgot about that. My bad.
No, you're good. But yeah, so like that's going to be a good one. Very excited to see the grappling and see if Clayton can just get a good step-up win moving into the top 15, remain undefeated at 125 pounds.
Yep.
I forgot what the rest of that card was. Hold it up. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
The card is insane.
Yeah. And then the next one added for this card, absolutely incredible. So excited for this. Our boy Money Moicano, he is taking on Benny Dariush. Finally back after the 2-fight stretch right in a row, losing to Arman and Charles.
Yeah.
But just talking about just losing, not sure if he's still going to be fighting, because if he's not the best, then why keep going? He's back against Money Moicano. If he loses this one, I'm pretty sure he's going to be retiring.
Yeah.
But this is
scary.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, going into the Benoit fight, just really just confident that Moicano can get it done. I feel like this is obviously out of the top guys, of just Islam, Arman, Charles Oliveira. It's I feel like this is one of the hardest stylistic matchups for Money Moicano in this division.
It's one of those weird ones because with Benny, Moicano, he's got a decent chin, but it's not the greatest. And Benny just has stupid power sometimes. Legitimately.
But he can get taken out of there. He's 16-6-1 in the UFC, and all 6 of his losses. I mean, all of his losses. Okay. Yeah, they're all by finish. 5 KOs and 1 sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like yeah.
So yeah, man, such a good fun fight at 155 pounds. I'm so excited to see how the grappling plays out. Hopefully Moicano can just use that jab, stick it on Benny, maybe land some good shots, get him out of there, just get a TKO again for his own. Or yeah, man, just see how it goes.
Man.
He definitely can, but so excited for that. And then the last fight to bring up, just another very solid fight. This one, February 22nd, Zhang Silva of the Fighting Nerds taking on Melsik Bagdasaryan, 145 pounds. Just a very fun fight. Surprised Zhang Silva isn't getting top 15 after being Drew Dober at 155, but still a good fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah. Let's see how all of those play out. That is all of the fight news to bring up for this episode of the podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did, and we will catch you on the review to UFC Tampa. Peace.